What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited for today's video. I think we are very due for a Q&A because I know I have a lot of new subscribers, a lot of new followers. A lot of you probably don't know me that well as a person outside of fitness, so I thought what a good opportunity. So you guys asked a ton of amazing questions branching from business, fitness, mental health, relationships, anxiety, diet, everything. Got my big list and we're going to go through these questions. So to make this Q&A a little bit more fun, I've decided that I'm going to go through the list and answer any questions that have to do with just me, and any questions you guys had about Greg and I'm going to grab Greg and see what he has to say as well. So with that said, let's hop right into this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you enjoy and hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. Let's do it. The first question I have here says, how did you start your business? Any tips for aspiring entrepreneurs in fitness? Mari Fitness started in October 2017, and I know that because that is when I put up my first ever fitness post. As you guys know, I went through a weight loss journey for around 7 months, 9 months, somewhere in between there. And during that time, I was very to myself. I didn't share my fitness journey with anyone except my immediate family and Greg. I didn't share pictures. I didn't really talk about fitness on social media. I wasn't really even posting on social media. I think I had like 900 followers from college and friends and stuff, but social media wasn't something I was like good at or interested in really. So yeah, during my weight loss journey, I really wasn't I didn't share it with anyone, but it really was like the biggest thing in my life I've ever done for myself. It was the biggest goal I've ever had, my biggest achievement. It really like changed who I am, and I was very proud of it and very passionate about fitness, but I never thought to share my transformation. And honestly, I didn't really take any before pictures at all, which I'm very annoyed about now. But I did have this one transformation I took in the, I believe I took it in the mirror of the gym. And Greg was like, you know, you should really put that on your Instagram page. So I was so nervous about putting up that transformation, but that one transformation blew up. I got so many comments, so many likes. People were sending it to other big pages that were reposting it. My followers were just going up, up, up. All of a sudden, my inbox was flooded. It was nuts. And I was someone that didn't use social media prior to this. So I was like, what's going on? And as you guys know, Greg's been into bodybuilding since forever, since middle school, and he's also super entrepreneurial. He was a marketing major with an entrepreneurship minor in college. I was a design and merchandising major in college. So with our two majors and both of us being passionate about fitness and nutrition, it just kind of made sense, and look where we are now. Crazy. I hope that summed it up okay. Next question. I need some water. The next question, did you always know you had a mental illness or did it develop later in life? So I don't think I've ever really gone in depth about my disorder on YouTube. It's a very personal thing for me and something I've worked very hard at kind of keeping at bay. Not at bay, but making it easier to deal with. It used to be a lot worse, and I feel that now on a day-to-day basis I don't struggle as much. But just to explain, BPD stands for borderline personality disorder, and the name of the disorder itself can be a little bit misleading. A lot of people mix it up with multiple personality disorder, and it's completely different. The way I like to describe BPD to people who don't know what it is that it's like having third-degree burns on your feelings. So someone looking at you wrong, someone saying the wrong thing, conflict, situations can all affect you really heavily when you have BPD. Your emotions are very strong. They can feel like just waves and they flood you. It can take up your whole day, your whole week. It is a very difficult disorder to live with, and I'm very proud of how hard I have worked to make it a less prominent part of my life, if that makes sense. But to answer your question, I did not always know that I had BPD. I knew that I was a sensitive person growing up. A lot of people say that BPD develops from childhood situations and then really kind of shows itself during adolescence. Mine kind of really popped up during college. I did notice that my emotional reactions to things were a lot stronger than other people's, and they really kind of took me over, and I didn't really know why. I just kind of assumed I was sensitive until I started dealing with those emotions in a very toxic, unhealthy way over and over and over. I've been seeing the same therapist since I was 14, and she diagnosed me probably when I was about 19 or 20 years old. This is fun, guys. I wish I could ask you questions back because I want to know about you too. So the next question is, has your anxiety increased with the popularity you have gained through social media? Yes and no. Mostly no, because my mental health used to be really bad. You guys didn't know me back then, but I used to be very anxious and unstable about everything. So I would say no, but I do have new anxieties that I have never experienced before with having a large social media following. You know, sometimes I feel like I just need to clear my head and I can't because I have 500,000 people that need me to answer, post, comment, story post. You know, it can be a little bit overwhelming. With that said, I'm so passionate about it and I feel so lucky and blessed that it is my job. That really outweighs the cons of the occasional anxiety I get from it. Next question is about the gym. When looking for a new gym, what are the main things to consider? That's a really good question. I'll just tell you guys what I did when I first started. My first gym was Crunch Fitness, or is it just Crunch? I don't know. It was a nice gym, but it definitely had an intimidating vibe. A lot of big men and very fit women, and I felt very like inadequate, I would say. Just felt Crunch was like a little bit advanced for me at the time. So I actually ended up going across the street and joining Planet Fitness, which is super affordable, a judgment-free zone. They don't have tons of equipment. There's gonna be things that you don't have, but for the start of my journey it was perfect and I didn't feel judged at all. I felt really comfortable there. I kind of made it my zone, and then when I got to the point where I was like, okay, I need more equipment, you know, I'm ready for something more advanced, it was really easy to just get out of my contract and for it to not be a big deal. Look for a place where you know you can feel comfortable. Make sure it's close by. You don't want to pick something that's like, you know, super fancy but it's 45 minutes away, because you're so much less likely to get yourself there if it's that far away. So try to pick something within, you know, 15-20 minutes if you can. Make it as convenient as possible for you, and you know, make sure it can be kind of a home for you. The next question is, how did you change your mindset about food? I will say that your mindset changes a lot more easily when you just start. When I first started, food was definitely like a source of pleasure in that moment and comfort in that moment. When you start thinking more long term and you start thinking kind of more in like a scientific way, which sounds really weird, things become a lot easier. And what I mean by that is, I always use my muffin example, but that's the one thing that really sticks out to me. Those giant muffins tasted so good for 5 seconds. They brought me happiness for 5 seconds. But when I had eggs and avocado and my green tea, I felt good for the whole day. Do you get what I mean? Like, I just functioned so much better eating a wholesome meal that wasn't full of sugar and had proper nutrients in it. So if you just think of food in a more long-term and functional way, it just makes a lot more sense. And you have to value yourself too. That's the other thing. Eating well shouldn't be a punishment. You're gifting your body with the nutrients it needs and the energy it needs to feel good. Giving yourself the right nutrients is so worth it. Healthy food can be so delicious, guys. Trust me, it's so good. When I switched over to healthy food, I was like, oh, this is really good. The next question we have is, do you wear underwear to the gym? Weird question, I know, LOL. I get this question so much. I get this question all the time. I'm gonna tell you guys straight up, no, I do not. Many women do not. Most of the influencers you see on Instagram do not. It's very uncomfortable to do so, and I'm sure I'm gonna get people saying, that's unsanitary, blah, blah. I can't get a proper workout in if I am wearing them. I'm not gonna like make my workout uncomfortable just to wear underwear. And honestly, leggings are so thin as it is and so close to your body, it's gonna happen anyway. Wash them, you know, have multiple pairs you can change out. Most girls that I know don't. You don't have to either. The next question is, if you were not a fitness influencer, what would you be doing? I like that one. So as I said before, I did go to college for design and merchandising, and I thought I wanted to be an event planner. I had an internship in event planning and I really, really loved it. If we're talking about like my passions, I love animals. I don't know how many people know that, but I absolutely love wildlife. When I was a teenager, I worked at a zoo and I loved it. I worked in the camel barn, best job ever. So I think I would either be an event planner or something to do with animals. Someone asked, as your business grows, is it harder to trust other people? I wouldn't say it's harder to trust other people. I think you just have to be a lot more careful. With a business like mine and Greg's that has a lot to do with us as people and our personal life, like, you know, I am my own brand. It can get weird when friendships start to get a little businessy. We are very careful with who we choose to work with. We have a very close-knit circle of people that work for us, and we also consider them friends, but it can get weird sometimes when the line between friendship and business gets a little blurry. So I wouldn't say it's more difficult to trust people, you just definitely have to be more wary of who you let into your circle. The next question is, where were you born? I was born in Chertsey, which is a little town in England, very close to London. I was born there and I lived there for 1 year. Then I moved to Switzerland for 3 years, back to England for 7 years, New York ever since, then Philly for college, and now Colorado. Yeah. Someone said, what is the most beautiful waterfall you have seen so far? So Greg and I used to be super obsessed with finding waterfalls. We used to go on hikes all the time in New York to find waterfalls. We've traveled to a few places to see awesome waterfalls. I think my favorite is the one in Ecuador that we saw. Ecuador is probably our favorite place we've ever been, and we really want to go back. But yeah, Baños in Ecuador had some amazing waterfalls. The next question is, what's your favorite thing about being a business partner with Greg? My favorite thing about being a business partner with Greg is just watching him and me do things we've never done before. We've basically just been growing so much as people ever since this whole business started and ever since my fitness journey. I've also just seen him become so supportive of me too during the fitness journey in our business. He's so encouraging and he really pushes me to be my best, and I feel like I do the same for him. But we also have very different skills, which is awesome. I think it's a big reason why our business has worked out the way it has. Someone said, how do you get to the gym on tough mental health days? I do definitely sympathize with that. It can feel so difficult to get yourself to the gym when you're like feeling down. But what I like to tell myself is that you will feel worse if you don't go. The gym is such a mental thing for me. It makes me feel so accomplished and strong, and doing something that's hard is actually really good for your mindset, because the more you do it, the more you show yourself that you can do that thing and more. So if you're having a tough mental health day, go to the gym, sweat it out. Don't worry if you're not having the best workout. It literally doesn't matter. The fact that you're there and working is going to make your brain feel better, I promise. So I have finished answering all the questions that are just to do with me. So now I'm going to grab Greg and have him answer some of the questions that involve him as well, because there were a lot of those. The first question I have is, how did you and your boyfriend meet? You guys are so cute. Okay. We've answered this a few times, but...
Mari and I went to the same high school. Mari is, give or take, 10 years older than me. So Mari is a year older than me. We went to the same high school. We didn't know each other at all when we went to high school. We went to college, we had some mutual guy friends, and one of them was like, hey, you go to the same school as this Mari girl, you should holla. And so I hollered. Well,
you actually slid it to my Facebook message.
Wow, that's crazy. I haven't been on Facebook in like years. I was in a fraternity at Drexel University in Philadelphia, and Mari's sorority was the neighbor, and we both lived in our Greek houses. Yeah, we were next door neighbors, 10 feet apart. And
I could literally see Greg in his kitchen through my bedroom. Are you and Greg gonna get married soon? Please, in all caps. So. It's not the time right now. Yeah. But we definitely want to.
I mean, I don't need Mari's last name to change or a ring to confirm how we feel about each other. Right now, I mean, it's definitely something we're probably gonna do, but not right now.
Lulu's like, please get married. We're done here with you.
Well, thank you.
Get out of here. He's so great. So I'm really sorry if this lighting looks so bad. It actually got dark because this video took so long. I am gonna end the video here. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video.